everybody, this is Scott Travis with Judas Priest and Racer X. Sitting in front of my DW drum set. All I have is good experiences and great comments and compliments, and sounds cliche and sounds like it could be scripted, but it so seriously is not. Even our sound man, the first day I used the new kit at production rehearsals, he literally came up after we were done with our set and he goes, man, I can't believe how much better these drums sound than the drums I was using previously. And that is an absolute honest scenario that took place. But all the other experiences, as far as playing them every night, it's been great. Nothing has broken or come loose. And I don't know about other drummers, but it always irked me that you would set a memory clamp or something and the cymbal arm or whatever would still move like a half an inch, and it was just like, it was play that the company, it almost seemed like they knew it would be there and they just kind of said, oh, there's nothing we can do about it. With DW, I don't have that problem. Once you set something and set the memory lock, it seems to stay perfectly, and that means a lot to me. So I think most drummers generally are a little bit industrious anyways. We like to mess with our hands and tinker with shit and things like that. And this kit, all the components to it, they make things like rock solid. So that's what I need and that's what I like. The custom shop is awesome, man. I mean, number one, it's here in America, which not many other companies can lay claim to. And it's really something I wish all drummers could actually come out and tour the factory itself, because you'll see the love and dedication that the company, that they exude, then that they apply to everything that they make. Obviously, the fact that it is a custom shop means that they can make whatever you want. On my kit, for instance, I've got 24-inch long bass drums, but they're 23-inch circumference. Or diameter, I guess you would call it. But anyways, a couple other things. The two cymbal arms in front, they're custom length. I think they're 36 inches, something that the company hadn't previously made, but it was something that I asked for and they said, no problem. It wasn't even a question. It wasn't, something that they hemmed and hawed about and said, oh, it might take a little while. It was no problem. And again, these are the things I think I think all drummers have one or two pieces or drums that they'd like to see made, and DW can fulfill that request. Not only the shells, of course, which is, that's the start of any drum set, but the paint shop as well. They had a couple of different finishes that were being painted. I don't even remember, I won't give it away because I don't know whose drum kits they were, but they had some custom paint jobs that were being done. Shell dimensions, like I said, they can pretty much make any depth or any diameter. I also remember distinctly that John Good, he showed me some of the, in the hardware department, he had some like metal lathes and machines that he had acquired, periodically when he went on trips to Europe. I don't remember the specific countries, but it was definitely in Europe, and he had these metal machine making devices that he could, make certain hardware or tubes and pieces like that. I thought that was very impressive. And the shell selection, how John actually goes around and finds the tonality of each shell. For instance, if someone's buying a 5-piece kit, and traditionally, 12, 13, 16 floor bass drum snare, he goes around and finds those shells before they're painted, before any hardware's put on them. He finds the tonality match for each of those drums and puts them on a shelf. And I think most people are probably unaware of that, but it's a great idea. Yeah, the British steel, it's like a brushed chrome. I don't know the technical term or what it's called in the catalog, but it's like a brushed chrome. And actually, even our light guy, because prior to that I had a chrome set, and our light guy, I asked him, I said, what finish would you like to see? And he thought, he liked the chrome idea, but he thought that the actual chrome was a bit too bright and the lights were kind of being, reflected off of it too much. So he kind of gave me his input, and then when I went to the factory, I obviously saw the different finishes that they had, and I thought, man, that's perfect for what we want to do. Obviously, we want to keep it sort of the heavy metal theme, and I've always been a big fan of, the chrome, brush chrome look. I've always been a big fan of that look. Nothing screams metal like metal, right? So when I saw that DW offered that, I said, that's hands down, that's got to be the finish. I'm a big fan of old school. I remember seeing, Alex Van Halen years ago had like the elongated bass drums, which means really long for you kids out there. But anyways, he had the super long bass drums. I think back in the day he probably put 2 of them together. And again, that was a special request that I had of DW. And again, without hesitation, they said no problem. So they're 24 inches long by 23 inches in diameter. And they fucking sound amazing. And a lot of times, you know, big drums, especially with toms, you know, power toms used to be the thing in vogue in the 80s and stuff like that, but they didn't really sound good. But the bass drums actually do have just a monster bombacity to them that I don't know if it could be replicated with a shallower drum, but they work, they sound good, and if you've ever seen us in concert, you'd know that the bass drum, it hurts you. I've had people after the concert say, man, not only did I see it and hear it, but I felt it, you know, so that's key. I've always been a big, you know, hardware guy, if you will. In other words, a drum shell is, you know, you want to have a great shell, great tonality, great wood composition, things like that, but the hardware is just as key, because that's the stuff that you're loosening, tightening, breaking down, especially if you're doing gig after gig like we do, you know, average of 5 shows a week, or if you're a club drummer, you're still breaking your stuff down and moving it all the time. And any drummer out there knows, if you've been to a drum shop or music store, you compare a DW cymbal stand to any of the other competitors, there is no competition really. It's hands down, the DW stuff is strong as you want. You could park a car on it seems like. So between that, the great pedals, snare stands, stools, everything else, you know, I think for me, again, personally, when I sit behind a kit, first thing is I want to be comfortable where I sit. If you're not comfortable, then the rest of it kind of goes out the window. You're just going to be uncomfortable playing. But the DW stuff, just go look at it, touch it, feel it, pick it up. As soon as you get it in your hands, man, you'll know the difference. Hey everybody, it's Scott Travis. Hope you enjoyed my little time on the web with you, and be sure and check out the DW Custom Shop. You will be glad you did.